Coming up, the University of Iowa is looking for a new diversity leader. And later, the journalism school is hosting a workshop with a celebrity guest.
See how the Iowa men's basketball team fared in their top 25 matchup later in sports.
Winter is in full swing in Iowa City and the snow keeps coming. Stay tuned for weather for more.
All that and more coming up on this Thursday morning edition of DITV News. Don't go anywhere. DITV News starts right now. Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Kate Overton. On Wednesday, the University of Iowa Office of Provost shared that they will begin searching for a new Associate Vice President for Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion later this spring. They will be filling a position that has remained vacant since August. Their search will begin in April using the firm Isaacson Miller. The university also plans on holding forums across campus to provide opportunities for feedback. The UI Provost Monserrat Fuentes was asked whether the person who fills the role next would report to the president of the provost. Fuentes responded saying, quote, "I think part of the engagement at that point, when we start getting feedback from the campus community, will determine exactly how we shape that position as we move forward," end quote. The position previously reported to the university president until 2017. Tajuan Wilson, former associate vice president, reported to the provost, but since Wilson's resignation, the 3 unit officers for the Division of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion have reported to the provost. The University of Iowa's School of Journalism and Mass Communications is sponsoring a media literacy and voting workshop this Friday, January 24th from 3 to 4 p.m. The workshop aims to help voters and caucus goers distinguish facts from fiction as the political candidates descend through Iowa. This event will teach individuals who may be voting and caucusing for the first time this year more about the political process and allow them to make informed decisions and distinguish credible news from incorrect and biased information. Tyler Oakley, a MediaWise ambassador and YouTube celebrity, will help train students. The workshop will be held in the Papa John Business Building in room W10. Space is limited to 250 registrants, so be sure to register as soon as possible. And as I was coming here this morning, there was snow on the sidewalks that wasn't quite cleared off yet. Bailey in the weather studio, I hope for some good news.
Well, Cade, winter is here to stay. So if you haven't already, take your waterproof boots out of storage. You're going to need them today because there's a 60% chance of snowfall throughout the day. We're looking at about 2 inches max. That's nothing too crazy, but if you're walking around campus or driving downtown today, things will be a little slushy. Temperatures will reach a high of 35 this morning, but looking ahead to tonight, temperatures will dip down to 32. Now, don't let these mid-30 temperatures fool you. It's still cold. Keep wearing your winter jackets. And now in our extended forecast, it predicts a pretty consistent temperatures throughout the weekend. We're looking at highs in the mid-30s throughout the next couple of days. Friday will be similar to today. There's a 70% chance of snow, and we're looking at a total of about 1.5 inches. Thankfully, the snow should let up Saturday. Expect cloudy skies. During the day, there's another cloudy day. Finally, looking ahead to the start of the work week, Monday we'll have a high of 34 and a low of 30, and it's going to be cloudy. Drive safe during the winter weather these next few days, Iowa City. Back to you, Cade.
The Molly Tibbetts trial, originally slated to begin February 4th, is being put on hold until the Iowa Supreme Court rules on an appeal regarding an evidence suppression motion. Defense attorneys argued that Bahina Rivera's rights were violated during his initial questioning and arrest in connection with the Tibbetts' disappearance in August 2018. Attorneys slated that police interviewed Bahina Rivera for 11 hours and he was initially given an incomplete reading of his Miranda rights. 8th District Judge Joel Yates ruled in December that most of the evidence collected during the arrest and questioning could be used during the trial. However, evidence collected between his initial Miranda reading and the completed reading are to be thrown out. Court documents did not specify when the Iowa Supreme Court would reach a decision or when the trial would be able to start. Be sure to stay tuned to the Daily Iowan for updates on the trial. And Gary Barta, the University of Iowa Athletics Director, has been named as the Selection Committee Chair for the College Football Playoff Management Committee, replacing former Chair Rob Mullins from the University of Oregon. Barta originally was appointed to the committee in January 2019 and is excited to serve as the chair. He commented on this opportunity saying, quote, "I have so much respect for the other committee members and for Bill Hancock, the college football playoff staff. I'm honored to serve as a committee chair and look forward to working with this group again in 2020, end quote. And last night, I was trying to watch Zion Williamson's debut, but I just couldn't take my eyes off that Hawkeye basketball team. We have Zach in the sports studio to break down that action.
That's right, Cade. Last night, the 19th ranked Hawkeye basketball team took on number 24 Rutgers in Carver Hawkeye Arena. Iowa won the ranked Big Ten matchup of a score of 85-80. Even though the game was close, throughout Iowa continued their hot streak and proved how hard it is to win on the road in the Big Ten. The Hawks were down a few times, but the noise from the crowd gave them the energy they needed to muster up a victory. Iowa had much needed help from Luka Garza and Joe Wieskamp, who combined for over half the team's points at 46. But the points that mattered were at the end, when Connor McCaffrey went to the line and sank 4 free throws to seal the deal. This win makes Iowa 9-1 at home so far this year.
We certainly, after the 2 turnovers, had an opportunity to hang our heads, and we did not do that. We kept fighting. We executed on offense to perfection, and then we got the key stops on top of, it's one thing to come down and score. It's another thing to, score, get a stop, make your free throws. And that was really, really impressive there.
I've made free throws like that in the past. Haven't had to do it in a while because, we've had J-Bo. But, somebody's got to step up in that situation. And this game, it was me, but I would have had the same amount of trust in, CJ, Weezy, whoever. So, it just happened to be me this game.
Connor McCaffrey may have been the player to step up last night, but one player in particular has really stepped up this game this season. Talk about a player of the year. With more on that, we have basketball beat reporter Dallas Jones. Luka Garza, a.k.a. Garzilla, as they like to refer to him on Twitter, put up another great performance with 28 points and 13 rebounds tonight in Iowa's win over Rutgers, and he continues to make his case for Naismith Player of the Year.
But I thought, his decision-making, when to go, when not to go, hit a huge 3. I mean, that's the beauty of his game. Maybe that is an answer to your question. Maybe elevating his game by really being able to step out and make that 3 ball, as well as the face-up jumper, as well as the jump hook off either shoulder.
In the first game since being recognized as Jay Billis's National Player of the Week, Luka Garza brought in his 8th 20-point, 10-rebound game of the year, the second most such games in the nation.
I just go out there and play hard every single game, and I think, credit to my teammates. They do a tremendous job of, giving me the ball when I'm open, and, I just try to work hard and get great position, deep, and, when the jump shot's open, go for that.
This Iowa team is looking dangerous heading into the latter part of the season. From Carver Hawkeye Arena, this is Dallas Jones, DITV.
Now sticking to the hardwood, the Iowa women's team takes the floor against the Iowa Buckeyes at 7 in Carver Hawkeye Arena. The Hawkeyes are looking good at 15-3 with 6 straight wins and a 6-1 record in Big Ten play, which puts them tied for first with Northwestern. The Buckeyes are 11-7 and sitting in the middle of the Big Ten at 4-3, and has only seen success with teams in the bottom half of the conference. Iowa is led by a trio of upperclassmen: Kathleen Doyle, Mackenzie Meyer, and Monica Sonano. The Buckeyes bring a balanced scoring attack, but a defense that holds opponents to under 65 points. Be sure to come back to the DITV tomorrow to see how the Iowa women's team fared against the Buckeyes. Cade, back to you.
That's all we have for you on this Thursday morning edition of DITV News. Be sure to head over to thedailyiowan.com for all your latest news between Monday and Friday. And if that isn't enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out our print edition of the news on Stands Now. For DITV News, I'm Kate Overton. Have a great day, Iowa City.